Foreign Minister, you're pretty young to have this job. You've just turned 34, but you come from a family steeped in Pakistan politics. Your grandfather, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, was elected Prime Minister in the 1970s, then ousted in a military coup and executed. Your father, Asif Ali Zardari, was the President of Pakistan, and I think most people know your mother, Benazir Bhutto, the first woman to lead a democratically elected government in an Islamic country. She served twice as Prime Minister, but on her return to Pakistan in 2007, she was assassinated. Why did you two decide to go into politics?
My mother used to often say that she didn't choose this life, it chose her. And I like to say the same.
But I have to ask you this question. The current Prime Minister, you're in a coalition government, Shehbaz Sharif, is the brother of the former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, whose own daughter Mariam is also a political figure. Some might say these are dynasties. Absolutely. And it's a country of 200 million, more than 200 million people. Is that right?
No, absolutely. It's a country of 200 million people, and I can't speak for the Sharifs as in on this front, that they'll answer themselves, but from our perspective, as we just discussed, I wouldn't want to be in this position in that sense, as in I would have much preferred that my mother had lived and been able to continue in the work that she was doing so well. Unfortunately, the way that Pakistani politics works is, or has worked, is that such popular leaders has been targeted in attempts to undermine our democracy, and that has resulted in people like me taking this role. But of course, the fundamental importance is that we believe in democracy and the people's right to choose. So whoever wants to get involved in this life actually has to put themselves forth before the public, and if they are elected, and then they get the chance to serve.
I mean, it is interesting, though. On a recent edition of this programme, I was speaking to the President of Kenya, the new President of Kenya, William Ruto, who used to sell chickens at the roadside and only got his first pair of shoes at the age of 15. And in Pakistan, if you look at the history of Pakistan, the political class seemed to always come from the upper class. Why is that?
So, as far as that's concerned, I'd have to disagree. We've had a Prime Minister, Mr. Raja Pervez Ashraf, from my party as well, and he started his political career as a political worker of the Pakistan People's Party, and worked his way up as Prime Minister of Pakistan. So that too is possible within the Pakistani context.
You've been in a coalition government since April, when the previous Prime Minister Imran Khan was toppled in a vote of no confidence in Parliament. He alleges foreign involvement, a plot involving the US.
Yes.
What's your view on that?
I think it's just outrageous and ridiculous, conspiratorial. The results of the first time in Pakistan's history, and you, having covered Pakistan so extensively and being so aware of our history, will know this, that every single Prime Minister in the history of Pakistan, other than Mr. Imran Khan, has been removed through an undemocratic process. We've had Prime Ministers hung. We've had Prime Ministers exiled. We've had Prime Ministers assassinated in other attacks. Mr. Khan is the first Prime Minister in the history of Pakistan that has been democratically removed through a vote of no confidence. So I believe that despite our turbulent history, this is actually a significant achievement. Of course, Mr. Khan can't say that. He can't say that because of his own incompetence, he lost the support of his allies. So he's come up with this convoluted conspiracy theory. I think that one can play all one wants to sentiments and give such sorts of conspiratorial statements, but the facts also matter to the voters who lived the 4 years of Mr. Imran Khan's government, where our democratic rights were reversed, our media freedoms were reversed, our human rights were reversed, our economic rights were reversed. The economic situation and difficulties that our people are facing today, while severe and grave, they all remember that they didn't come about in the last 4 months. It happened over the course of over the last 4 years. So he can play all the cards that he wants, but at the end of the day, I have faith in the people of Pakistan. He too should have faith in the people of Pakistan, and he should cease and desist from his attempts of trying to influence in an undemocratic way the political process in Pakistan.
Let me ask you about your own political fortunes, because you're in a coalition and you are the junior partner in the coalition. There are elections next year. How do you differentiate yourself in that context?
Can I actually be totally honest? At this point in time, given what we're facing, I mean, the devastation and the scale of the tragedy of the floods, it doesn't matter what your political banner is. At the moment, we're all just citizens of Pakistan.
So you'd be happy to continue this coalition next year, maybe?
We're in the coalition for now and for the government. Obviously, when it comes to elections, we'll each be running from our own political parties. But this is not the time for hyper-partisan politics. This is the time for us to come together when literally a third of our country is underwater. And I'm doing that. Mr. Sharif is doing that. It's about time Mr. Khan did the same.
Many commentators who look back at 2018 when Imran Khan came to power said he did so because of the backing of the military. And it's not just commentators. Nawaz Sharif, the former Prime Minister and the brother of the existing Prime Minister, said that. Do you think the military plays an outsized role in Pakistani politics? You smile when I ask that.
I smile because anybody, as yourself, is aware with Pakistan's history knows that we've had a turbulent history when it comes to democracy and civilian supremacy. And as far as the 2018 elections are concerned, free and fair elections in Pakistan are hard to come by, but 2018's general elections were particularly unfair and manipulated in Mr. Khan's favor. And then he continued in power to use institutions that should be apolitical and have no role.
You're referring to the military there?
No role. Well, Mr. Khan himself says that he used to use the intelligence agencies to make his allies turn up in Parliament and pass bills. I mean, that's why it was all the more important for us who believe in democracy in Pakistan, that we had to remove this individual that was undermining the progress that we had made between 2007 and 2018, where we saw the first peaceful transfer of power from one government to the other. We saw devolution of power to the provinces and from individuals to Parliament. We saw an expansion of media freedoms, an expansion of human rights. And what we saw as soon as Mr. Khan came in is a contraction of democratic rights, of human rights, of media freedoms, and his conduct then and his conduct now is a fundamental threat to Pakistan's fragile democracy.